Lady Caren. I hope this finds you well. Coffee. I put in caramel syrup. My coffee. I put in brown sugar, vanilla creamer. I think it's Maxwell Filters coffee. It's a cut of coffee up there. That's not bad. I like it. I still have a blanket that I'm working on. Excuse me. It is more. I have not to get fully caffeinated. Throw something towards the trash. This blanket. So far, we are on blanket so far. So I started this row. I got the far, and then I stopped. See here. I got my. It's morning. I need to get music on here somehow. I screwed up with YouTube like a while ago. Now they won't let me have music, even the free stuff. So we'll figure out if we'll change that. But as a creator, I know I'm not going to talk to a YouTube person and be like, oh, this is what you do and fix us. No, it'll be some algorithm and something pre-done. It's delegated to something that do it for them. For those who crochet this morning while I'm working on this podcast and drinking coffee, I'll be on the single stitch. That's what, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5th. Single crochet stitch was up from my last half double row. I did a double row, then a half double row, and then I did a whole bunch of single stitches, and I progressively, like I did one with like 3 or 4 rows, and then a double, and then a half, and like 5, and this looks like 2 doubles almost. And I did what, like 6 or 7 rows single, and I did a double and a half double, and then I progressed with several more rows of single stitch. I did how many I crossed? I didn't count how many I crossed, therefore I don't have a straight edge on either side, but it's pretty and it's colorful and I enjoy it. So I like the pattern where I like progressively, like it's sort of like a sunrise or sunset or something. I don't know. It's pretty. It's several different colors. Yeah, I'm using a lion brand mandala, the bonus pack, and then I added on just the mandala something pack. It's acrylic. It's well, you're not supposed to change the weight, but I went from like a 3 weight to a 5 weight. I had what I thought was a hook or a 3 or on there. I think I switched to an I or a K hook. These are bamboos. They're not listed. They don't say so my stitch has gotten smaller significantly. And my stitch has gotten tighter, so smaller and tighter as it goes along. So it's yeah. The amount of time that I put on this, if I were to sell this, would be well over $100. So the amount of time that I take, it takes me 20 minutes average, like to get a row done. So that's a lot of hours you put into. I've got like 4, 5, 6 plus something. Like 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. Oh, this is not consistent. Like I did like 3 rows and tried to do like 3 rows again. The first 2 rows before I did the double. Okay, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times at least 4. So there's at least 28 rows progressively. It's a lot of, yeah, it's a lot. I got the first pack at like Walmart. We passed by them in impulse buy, and that one just, yeah, it's pretty though. I'm trying to finish it. So that's big for attention deficit hyper disorder. I finished craft. A hyperfixation. Yeah, so I had my first mother-in-law. That's what happens when you have multiple marriages. Yeah, she taught me how to crochet, and um, she taught me 1 or 2 stitches, and it's all I need to get started. And I just kind of went with it. She probably taught me more, but I probably didn't um, reciprocate. I'm trying to think the word. Yeah. So, but it's a skill that, what for? We get mass produced products. Crocheting is not bad. You can crochet anything. People crochet stuffies and sell, and crochet, sweaters and hoodies, and probably just crochet hoodies and blankets and scarves and things. And I don't know if it's more expensive to crochet it yourself or to have something to it, in which case I'm thinking I should want to make scarves for the winter. Figure out how many I need. Just do like fundraising, like do a scarf fundraiser or do squares, like fundraising squares, crocheted squares. I like to work on the house. Our house needs help. I was trying to think how to do that. My sister had asked me for a crocheted scrubby kitchen scrub. It was just straight particular kind of yarn. I'm like, whatever would I need that for? So for a kitchen scrubby, just got the panels up. I don't think I had the right yarn for that. It took me a while. It's like, yeah, things don't always make sense because of the processing. Parts of my brain are not as big as the parts of the brain that receive the information. And that's where it gets the disorder. The fact that it's a disorder because it disrupts my ability to live in a neurotypical environment. And I have to wonder, why do people live in this stereotypical environment? Go with I don't think that is. Oh, it works. So, what I like about this is that it helps deal with the trauma. Sometimes, like, you're emotionally attached to somebody who's not emotionally attached back, and you see some of their what's normal for them responses be traumatic for us, and just having trauma in the world. So, having your hands busy making something, doing something feels good. It's a wonderful way of dealing with things. For me to sit here and go and talk doesn't work, but you notice that crocheting isn't exactly a secondary task to me, the primary task. I'm like, oh, watch, there's this lady, and I admire her so much on TikTok because she just sits here and she tells you, did you know at such and such place they did this? And yes, I'm telling you this. And she'll just sit there, she'll look you in the eye, and she'll like weave in and out machine like as she's crocheting. And but I can't do this, I can't think by the feel of it or something. And she just keeps up the rhythm and pops the hook pops in and out of the project. And I'm just like on, oh, uh, so I got into the routine and I'm going to need to get moving, get things done. My week going. I did not. Sunday I did more recovery than I had available to. I couldn't recover enough from and go through the week and then get things done in the week that just normally need time. It's like people need to eat meals. Our customers to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I make sure that everybody has breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I swear it takes, 2, 3 hours just for breakfast. Dinner takes forever. And there's so many dishes. Autism says, why do you do this? What's so important about this? Yeah, stare at this. So sometimes I think, oh, I'm coming here and it's choose to talk on the podcast or choose to crochet, and I'm thinking I'm getting better and getting better. No, so it's 1, 2, 3, fourth row. One, think about fourth row from my last half double. Half double is a type of crochet stitch. Probably knit stitch. I don't know if you're knitting. And that's probably the way to convert knitting and crocheting because it looks like it upside down or inside out. And I tried knitting. I tried to knit. I don't know if I've got. I think as far as I got was my needle loaded, sort of like a chain stitch on the needle. Wow. I'm sure the more I try, the more I get familiar with it, the more I can do it. I believe that I can do it. Yeah. April is almost done, and I'm going into May. Year, and I have to sit there and go, how much further away from my New Year's resolution am I trying to accomplish goals? My goals to accomplish, like I want to clean the house, my stuff out of the house. I want to liquidate my stuff that I don't need. So it's not about using my odd year. Like if I'm like 1 years old, year to get rid of the stuff that I don't want. Even year, like I've always wanted a motorcycle, buy a motorcycle. Or I've always wanted this, or I've always wanted that. And then, so be like, get rid of everything, bring in the stuff that you really want. There are things that go through my thoughts that I'm like, would my viewers and listeners podcast enjoy the thoughts? So I'll get flashes of conversations that I'll have that associate with, like me making an extreme point or exaggerating a point to express something, and then have people, the response that I get from people is that obviously, it's downplayed, like, oh yeah, like nobody's gonna, oh, that's stupid kind of thing. Like, I feel like that's poor communication skills. And one of my fixation is communication, because the results of not being understood from the hyper, super loud, super fast way that I used to speak as a kid, because I had so many ideas and they had to get out and they were all important. And people kind of just glaze over, and then the results of my life would be unsatisfactory. So I've been trying to learn how to communicate across the board inclusively to those who are neurodivergent. Now that I know neurodivergent and what neurospicy is, and those who are neurotypical, how do they work? How do you change the world so that other people don't have to go through the pain? What is the human response? So if the information gets lost that you should do this or that, it's like those people that used to start controlled fires, which there's no such thing as controlled, but they try controlled fires to keep the forest from burning down, because they knew what to do. Because if you do it wrong, you're just going to burn down the whole forest. And then we have those big forest fires because they stopped doing it. Like somehow the knowledge got lost, and we lost huge forests and lives and houses and all sorts of vitally essential stuff. So, what would help people communicate in the most human-like way? That's the most natural for humans to do. And because we speak with feeling and we listen with feelings. And how do we not get our feelings hurt or, because people do it again and again and again. And what'll happen is it'll start like as kids, like siblings will do things and they'll have certain causes and effects and they'll have certain like I hear these stories of siblings that, oh, they did this and this was just a normal thing. And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be normal to lock your sibling out and play pranks on each other to get each other in trouble all the time. It's not natural. I mean, in order to do that, something had to have been off or not natural. And it's just a normal part of growing the way people would just, oh, that's just normal. That's just growing up. That's just what people do. That's just how siblings behave. No, no, they don't. They behave like human beings. Why would you hurt the people that you have to live with? It's because they don't live that often with the people. And I sit there and I watch my older sibling treat my younger sibling, or my my older sibling, my youngest child treat their younger. Hold on, that is not coming out as it should. All right, so like apparently I have to think for a minute. So my older child treat their younger sibling. Yes, okay. Be like, no, you don't treat that's not no. Because I full well know that when they get older, that translates how you treat the people in your household. That translates how you're going to treat your roommates, maybe, or how you're going to treat people that you live with, or people that you know, it translates to what you're supposed to do in adulthood. And you might not remember your childhood or how you were treated or treated by or treating your siblings, but it translates like what you expect or think about how you treat people that you really, really love. There are people that come home and just totally lack of empathy, lack of support, lack of emotional attachment. They just, oh, their wife, she cooks and cleans, she does all this stuff for free, because we're married and that's her job. And then they'll go out and they'll have this connection with their coworkers or even go and have an affair. Or they go do their thing. That's not every household. That's just their household. And it's like how you treat each other, or they'll mistreat their spouse, or they'll mistreat, or they won't get their spouse, and they have to make the marriage work. And they won't know because they're not familiar with it, and it's not how it's not how mom treated dad when they were growing up, or whatever else. And they'll come home and or yell at their spouse because their spouse is a safe person to yell at. I mean, that's traumatizing. Sometimes they're yelling at them because they don't do anything right. Other times they yell at them because they just need to vent. And I wonder about those households. For them, it might work, depending on that household and the things that are going on in their lives. Other people, I'm like, that's just trauma. You're just traumatizing people. You're just cultivating trauma because they don't know any better. And there's some parents who it doesn't occur to them that the way that their kids are behaving towards each other, or behaving towards them, or how they're behaving towards their children is this rudimental thing of behavior on how they behave when they become adults, because to them, they spend, was it like 3, 4 hours with their kids? So it's like maybe 20 hours a week, because the kids go off on the weekends to go visit somebody else's house, and they're being raised and cultivated, and their culture, their religion, their education, their indoctrination, their way of life, their how to approach, anything and everything comes up by somebody else, like school. They're spending more time in school than they are at home. You would think you get 2 days off of the week. But then for other households, the parents have to work in order to make ends meet more like 60 hours a day, or 6 hours a day. But it feels like it's 60 hours a week, or more, working 1 to 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Who's going to watch the kids? Who's going to be there to cultivate the kid? And it's kind of how the US is. And, it just like blows my mind. Like, you can't be serious. And that's working class generally, is from what I understand. And so, I mean, and then these effects have effects on other people in their circles. So, so what works for one house or one cell in the organism of society does not always work for the other. We are this living organism. We are on this planet where this potentially symbiotic relationship with the planet. We don't act like it. And when you get it, you really get it. And then it becomes like a tidal wave of like overwhelming this concept. And then understanding that if you sit down and focus on this particular issue, you're going to miss your life, and you're not going to be able to accomplish your life, because a one person thinking about an all person problem is going to wreck them oneself to try to, take care of the whole. So it's not one person rules over the others. It's one person coordinates all the other people that they're ruling or taking care of. So it's a type of servitude. If you're in charge, it's not I'm in charge and I boss people around. So just do what I say so that we can get it done the best possible way. Because if you get hurt, I'm the one that gets in trouble, kind of thing. And that's not healthy. That's a very teetering balance. That's like tightroping, because if you one way off, the whole thing crumbles, and it's an upside down pyramid, and it collapses. And the concept, but if you go through life and help them help themselves, take care of them, because you have to go from the part where their whole life is dependent on you as an infant. They can't even hold their head up. So breathing, food, nourishment, clothing, any kind of need for attention, need for understanding, need for learning, need for all of that. You're the center of the world. And a lot of people have approached a village. It takes a village to take care of all those needs. And sometimes that parent is just devote your life to taking care of, like if you were the only one, that's there for them to take care of. So there's different ways of handling that. So then if a person takes care of that, then so if a person coordinates You get them to the point that they can take care of themselves. You raise them so they can clothe themselves and feed themselves because you're going to be doing other things. Or if anything happens to you, they're able to clothe themselves, feed themselves, take care of themselves, and get to the point where they can get back to you, or that they can move forward and heal and continue. So if you're so dependent on another person, there would have to be so much cultivation of existing factors. You have to continuously build on having support from other people in order to be able to take care of a person. So if you took care of each other, and why would you ask a child to take care of the parent? Hey, but if you raise a child to learn to take care of themselves and more independent, they have happier child. And the funny part is there are so many instances where we're so domesticated, it's ridiculous. We would be able to survive on our own if the government collapsed. Sometimes I wonder if the government's still running, or if it's just some weird facade where we're being run by corporations. I wonder. But yeah, so that's why I like spirituality, because that spirituality will keep you steady in doing what you are. But yeah, being able to take care of the kids. So if you think about how much time they're at school versus how much time you get to see them because they're off with their kids or they're off doing their own thing and they're off. Like my kid got hurt or something at the doctor, like it was a rash or something, not hurt. They had a rash or something. I'm like, how long has this rash been going on? And I sat there and tried to think how long it'd been since I had seen the kid because the kid had been short, going to school and short. And they'd been busy because, like some kids, they're off doing extracurricular activities all, week long. And it's just like I had seen the back of the kid's head. They come in, they run into the door before you. They grabbing food, and you're grabbing at the door to go, and you're driving and you're going. And you hardly even see this kid. Like it was crazy. I sat there and thought about like how long, because you don't. How often do some parents get to see their kids? It's not that they don't know where their kid is. It's just they have extracurricular activities. So they came home. So basically, you made sure that they had their clothes to go take a bath or shower, and then they've already taken care of their bath and shower, and they're old enough. And then they come out, you know, you're all trying to feed each other, and you have to take care of the other ones, the littler ones who can't do their thing. So, like, how very rare it takes. So, when you take a moment to look at your kid, take a picture, do something, interact, say, how was your day? Really connect with your kid. Because those moments, those 3, 4 hours a day that you're lucky enough to have with your kid. It's crazy. So, first few years, it's been lately the cultivating of the U.S. has been, oh, get your kids into daycare or into kindergarten so that they can, you know, learn to do things. So they can learn to do school stuff and I'll learn all their development stuff and all these things. We have more kids in school than we have kids not in school learning about life. Like, so, and the fact that we don't have domestic classes anymore, a lot of places don't have domestic classes, the cooking, the cleaning, for as many hours as the kids don't spend at home. Who teaches them to cook, clean, take care of, balance a checkbook, life? Um, so yeah, and you have to figure these things out. That's crazy. That is so insanely crazy. That's why I want to work at home because that's if you're poor, you hardly get to be home with your kid. That's not. It's yeah. It's insane. And then they went, like there's always that fear of abuse at home. I know that one because I grew up with that one. You have so many kids at home and the parents take care of the kids. Who's abusing the kids? How do you take care of them? Because they're so ashamed they hide it. And so the kids don't get help. So, is there a way to provide environments so the kids don't ever have to go home if they're not going to get an environment at home? But how also do you have it so that the kids you can have your kids at home instead of everybody else raising your kids? I mean, at like 7, 8 years old, they're not ready to go off and be raised by, a teacher. And those teachers get attached to the kids. And then they have to, the next year, after so many months, they have to detach and get reattached to new children that they sometimes see the other children before. And they get a nice note, and that's so nice, and da 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 da. They run to raise your kids. And if they don't like you, they may not like your kid. And other things for these teachers, how much power do you give these teachers to discipline? What kind of discipline means, does the school have to give its kids? And how do you cultivate punishment? For me, discipline is to show what you should do, is to learn what to do, not learn what not to do, or to punish, not to punish. So, like a discipline, disciples, learning to learn to disciple yourself. So, yeah, when you handle this, or you handle that, that's some sort of way that you want to treat other people. You do based on what you learn, but what if your mom never taught you how to? Oh, mom was working 2, 3 jobs. So you have to wonder on this melting pot cultures. You get a diet of what you're fed on social media, television, movies, shows, books, figures, magazines. Because saying you shouldn't publish this book or this show based on how your viewers might feel or act on it. So it's denying like free speech. But yeah, we go. Just let guys go. At the same time, you have to take this responsibility. This is right. So yeah, I gotta get my kid up. I gotta get this done so that I can get up and go get that's right. No, that's not. It's too much. It's this one. And then I chain one. I gotta do the edge. I think that's right. There. Da, 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 da. Tomorrow, hopefully, I will see tomorrow. Consistency, the routine, but the Tuesday. I wonder if we should do anything for Tuesdays. Caren. Something you guys can all look forward to. But I need to clean up, me up, get me ready to get my kid up, get my kid ready for school. That's always fun. So, yeah, cool. On. See Tuesday. What should we? I don't know. I'll try to think about Tuesday segments. If you like or subscribe, I mean, this is so far. This is what my podcast is. This is me just talking, blabbing in the morning. So on your drive home, some people just like blah 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 blah. They don't really have to pay attention. They can just drive, or they have a secondary, something in their ear, or somebody just talking in their ear, and not have to do anything. I figured that those are my viewers because I don't get much view or interactions with my videos, but you can feel free to interact with my video if it's not porn. Yeah, no, don't porn. It's not porn. I'm not going to promote. I'm not going to use a promotion service because I can't afford a promotion service. But I understand that some people are like, "Oh, this person needs to promote." It's not wrong. But yeah, I really appreciate all the views, all the likes that I get. Like this give me all like really, yeah. No, it does. It gives me all sorts of dopamine, the huge dopamine effects if you like or interact with my channel, with all that. And I'm trying to figure out how to set up an email. What do you call those? Emails. Yeah, where I send you like emails and stuff or a blog on an email lists, mailing lists or something. figure out what that is and how to do that because I've never done one. Yeah, and, what's up with this and what we're doing. But yeah. So yeah, interact with the channel. Thank you for watching Wise One. How's that, Caren? Love you, love you guys. I hope you're doing well. Till next we meet. Have a good one.